Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today, and joining us today is a very special guest. The buzzword this year has been satellite communications. Neha Idnani, the Regional Vice President for Asia Pacific, Eutelsat OneWeb, is joining us. If you want to know more about satellite communication and what that is, how that really will work, the new telecom technology, and a lot more, Neha, many thanks for joining us here on Business Today. First off, this is the first time for you talking to a business news channel on television. So thank you very much for making time for us, first off. Eutelsat OneWeb has been the front runner. In fact, I did have the opportunity to also see a fleet of satellites being launched from ISRO's Sriharikota launch pad as well. The Gen 1 constellation has been launched. Over 600 satellites, close to that or thereabouts, have been launched. What plans about Gen 2 and your way forward for India? I would like to speak more on APAC, but first off, if you could begin by telling us about your Gen 2 plans and India plans.
First of all, thank you, Aishwarya, for having us over and for giving me the opportunity to talk about Eutelsat OneWeb and specifically our plans in India. As you correctly pointed out, we've been very active over the last 3 years deploying and launching our Generation 1 constellation, including, as you said, doing it from India as well, doing 2 of our launches from India. So just as a recap, we are one of the only 2 live low Earth orbit constellations today. So not only are we live and hoping to go live in India soon, we've been actively deploying our services across the globe and across my home markets, which are Asia Pacific. But as you correctly pointed out, it doesn't stop with Generation 1. We are continuously investing money and resources on the future of our constellation, which is what you call Gen 2. So in essence, this stems from the fact that as an organization, we've always seen satellite as like a telco network from space. So it's built on continuity and continuous improvement. So even before our Generation 2 comes in, we're already looking at launching a few hundred more satellites for replenishing our existing Generation 1 satellites before Gen 2 gets launched. There are another, over and above those 100 satellites, another 340 satellites contracted for further enhancement in our network. So a lot of development of new features, new enabling technologies before even Gen 2 goes live. This happens in the 2027 timeframe itself. Then comes Gen 2, or what we also call the IRIS² program, because we've been selected by the European Commission to be their LEO of choice, not just today, but in the future as well. So Gen 2 or IRIS² is the program that starts from 2030. While India has had a huge progress in digital inclusion over the last so many years, we are at about 80% connectivity on wireless. Still, you see the teledensity between rural and urban is so different, with rural just being 50% over. So that's where satellite really is that important tool to bridge that gap till, telcos roll out more fiber, or sometimes that fiber rollout will just not be technically or commercially viable. That's where constellations like ours can be an extension to the terrestrial network for primary. Second, satellite plays a very important role for resilient connectivity. Even when primary fails, satellite is always there, always reliable. LEO more so, because you can do real-time applications. It is easy to deploy. I mean, we've seen in so many disaster situations that LEO constellations have come to the rescue. Then there are a lot of critical.
Sri Lanka being one of the examples.
Absolutely. Sri Lanka being one of the examples where Indian Army, within less than 48 hours, took a terminal from India and deployed it in Sri Lanka and deployed a telemedicine facility. So satellite has a strong role to play, but a strong complementary role to play in our view. in India specifically, like I said, our model is partnering with telcos and satellite service and internet service providers. So Airtel, Use India, Tata Group, Nelco, they're all going to be deploying our services in India. This is for the Indian market. And of course, as far as the end customers go, we'll be hopefully serving all suite of end customers, like you said, customers in land, sea, and air.
Talk a little bit about this 900, say you deploy the Gen 2 and this 900 fleet of satellite or constellations. How much more investment would be needed, or what's the goal there? Because already there's billions and billions that's been invested. In the next leg, what could we expect from Eutelsat Satellites finance, etc.?
So I'll just keep it to 600 satellites there, because a lot of the program is replenishment, as I said, and enhancement. But essentially, what we have serves the global requirements and makes it a global constellation. In terms of really the go-forward plan, one, as you rightly said, we have a very strong set of shareholders, Mr. Patil, the French government, the UK government, and a long tail of investors as well. All three of them coming back and infusing another $1.5 billion plus, as you said, there's a lot of talk around being a sovereign constellation or a constellation of choice by the Europeans. It's not just funding. We signed a Nexus program worth €1 billion with the French government. We are seen as a sovereign constellation, a constellation backed by a lot of good, friendly shareholders. Also by the fact on the way our infrastructure is, it's seen as a sovereign constellation. But I would add to the fact that you speak about funding and so on. As I pointed out, we've also been down selected by the European Commission as the choice of the LEO operator for the future constellation, the IRIS² program. A lot of our funding is also secured through the IRIS² program. So we are well funded, we are backed by a strong set of shareholders, plus this constellation will also be generating its revenues, and we will have funds coming through our organic business as well, besides the fact that we have a full-fledged geostationary business as well. So it is a company with a strong future, strongly backed shareholder base, and a fully functional LEO constellation for us to start operating in the rest of the countries that are yet to go live, like India.
Infrastructure, as far as India is concerned, there are 2 Earth stations which I know of. But since you're looking at the APAC region, what plans on building up the infrastructure in India and the other countries as well? And India has really been big on sort of Make in India and launching. There are also some startups which are helping in launch services also. Are there any such plans as far as infrastructure is concerned, increasing that Earth stations? And the second being, for the next Gen 2 satellite launches, what's your target there, and what partnerships are we looking at? Is it ISRO or maybe Starlink, SpaceX, or other partners?
Absolutely. So the first part of your question, you're right. We have 2 gateways that are there in India, in Mehsana and Tuticorin. We also have 2 points of presence in India. So we have a full-fledged physical infrastructure. And these are big Earth stations. I mean, you should come over and visit one of our gateways. As far as the second part, which is APAC, we have about 11 gateways across APAC, which are fully ready, fully operational. So just stepping back, in terms of constellation and our current service, we are fully deployed on satellites, we are fully deployed on our gateways. So we are one of the 2 live global constellations because we are ready with our physical infrastructure. So all of the APAC gateways are fully ready. We do not need any more physical infrastructure in our current plan, and every part of the region is connected already.
Even for Gen 2?
For Gen 1. Gen 2, of course, if there are tweaks in terms of technology, in terms of gateways, we will do any developments that are further required. But in terms of that wouldn't mean a lift and shift and a complete new technology. We used ISRO for our launches, 2 of our launches, which were exceptional. And ISRO was able to make that happen in 6 months of us beginning to speak to them about those launches. So we've had some great success with that. There's no reason why we wouldn't look at doing the same in the future.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.